Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome to another episode of Blue Diaries, episode 25. Joined by man like Andrew. You got Ads, you got Jimmy, you got AJ, who's actually in a meeting at the minute, people, so it's going to be a little bit late. But listen, it's nice to be back into the top four. That's the objective, right, from the start of the season, and back to winning ways, bruv. And I'll be honest with you, it was a breath of fresh air to see Maresca be very proactive yesterday. It reminded me of what he was doing at the start of the season. So we'll definitely talk about that. Because like I've said in the title, Maresca needs to continue to trust the squad. And we've all been saying this over this period where we've been dropping points. We've all felt like he hasn't done well enough with the squad that we've got. Even though we know the overarching thing, we can improve the squad. But he needs to do better of what he's got. You know what I'm saying? But Andrew, first of all, bro, how are you, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I was waiting to see the overreaction to us winning, like the overreaction to us losing last week, and I didn't get the same energy from the fan base. So, it's all good. But we won. It's all good. 3 points. Most important. We rock on. And just,
100%.
it was, be interested to see what you guys thought of the game. I haven't heard of what anyone's thought of the game on this panel. So I went on a couple of streams. I heard a couple of streams, and I was like, I didn't watch the same game. And I watched again a bit of the game, like certain players, like for Jackson, for example. How bad was he, did I think? And my view of him slightly changed again. I had to be reminded of what he'd done in the game and stuff like that. So we'll discuss it. But yeah, good to be here. Like and subscribe. Cheers.
Make sure, people, man. As we say, man, how's your arm?
Yeah, I'm good first and foremost. Good to be here. Big up everybody on the panel. Shoulders getting there bit by bit out of the sling now, so I can like rest it a little bit. So overall good. And Chelsea, they put a smile on my face. They got a dub, which is always good. Pretty much a perfect weekend in terms of results. So good. Yeah. Obviously the performance and other things trying to win that we'll get into. Overall, can't complain too much at the moment. Not too much.
Facts, bro. What you saying, Jim?
I'm here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Same old. The window's closed, so we need to talk about Win Stanley and every other fucking dickhead. I told people I don't talk about upstairs until it's their season. Well, it's their season. Their season just closed, and we need to talk about that. That's what we
100%. We definitely need to. Yeah, we need to talk about them for sure, bro. Because these two, they just seem like the Cramp Twins. When people are doing some fuckery, I always call them the Cramp Twins, bro. You know what I'm saying? The way I used to call Zuma and Christensen the Cramp Twins, these two, they've joined that penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we've got 34 people in the house. Make sure that you lot are smashing up the likes. Make sure that you lot are subscribing to the channel as well. Let's use in the chat right now, man. Let's go through this. So you got Hazard Brown. Chelsea forever, big yourself up. He's got a couple comments here as well. Let's build on a win. Let's win, build the confidence back in the team. 100%, bro. Nehemiah as well. He says, what a day yesterday. Maresca, good job yesterday. We're going to talk about Maresca. Sanchez dropped. Yep, we'll talk about that as well. And he also says here, Jorgensen should be number 1 until the end of the season. And then Conjurance as well says, big up, fellas. Big up, my bro, man. But listen, where should we start, man? Because for me in this game, I wasn't happy with the intensity in the first half, first of all. I thought the intensity in the first half was very poor. I thought our build-up was very predictable. It made it very easy for West Ham, really, of what we were doing because we weren't moving the ball quick enough. And the thing that you've got to do against low blocks, bro, you have to be able to move the ball quickly in order to move people out of position. But for me, in the first half, it felt like there wasn't really anyone that was taking the game by the scruff of the neck. I think Noni was trying a couple of times to try and do something. He had a chance which went past the post. You had Enzo, to be fair, who was the only one really that was getting the ball and just playing it quickly in the first half. I thought he was, quite urgent on it. Sancho was quite poor in the first half, didn't really do much. Palmer was trying to get involved, but again, he kept coming too deep because he wasn't really getting the ball in the pockets. So overall, the first half was poor. And obviously, we made the mistake that we did as well, right? But in second half, Maresca injects energy, bro, into the team. He makes all the changes he did quickly. You see Neto come on quickly. You see Reece comes off. You see Gusto comes on. You see Nkuku came on as well on the left, which changed that dynamic. He was playing more in like the left half space. You had Cucurella that was going more wider when Nkuku came on the left as well, right? So automatically you could see as well with Gil pushing the team back, we had a little bit more of a target up there. Because Jackson, bro, he was struggling to hold up the ball. You know what I mean? This is one of the worst performances I've seen from Jackson in terms of his hold-up play. And usually that's something that we big him up on, right? And that shows me right now that this guy is not confident in what he's doing. The things that we like from him, he's struggling to do right now. You know, when Gil came on, I don't know if you guys noticed, the little subtle touches and that, he was helping us keep the ball, bro. You know what I mean? And like I said, in the box as well, his movement was very good. And that's why I keep saying this is a guy that needs to get more minutes in the team because he's more of a natural striker. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I thought it was very good in-game management from Maresca. I thought that's what won us the game. And the players on the bench as well, they did very well when they came on. And ultimately, that should mean that Maresca starts to trust the squad a lot more. But we'll have to see if he's actually going to do that, bro. You know what I mean? But let me come to you first, Ads, man. What did you think of the game, first of all, bro?
I thought we got 3 points, and I'm happy about that. Again, like I said, it was a good weekend of results. They went in our favor. We just had to do our job and get 3 points, which we did. Positives out the way, we won ugly, and I've been saying for a long time that it's good to win ugly. We don't do that nearly enough, and over a whole season, unless you're prime Barcelona, you're not going to get anywhere playing pretty 38 games a season and get into your objectives, which for us is to be top 4, which you've got into now. So that's good. Saw a bit of personality from Cole Palmer, which was nice in terms of wanting to like not being the losing end again today or yesterday. And boy, we managed the game relatively well after scoring, but again, for me, that's kind of where the positives. There's not too much more than that for me, if I'm being brutally honest. And again, like I said, it's good to win. Of course, win ugly, that's great, but my God, the intensity first off was awful. And
what did you think of this setup? What did you think of this setup here?
Again, it's what we've been seeing a lot of. I just think my main issue with this is we're facing a low block, right? And against Wolves, it was similar. They set up with their back 5 as well. And it's blatantly obvious that we need to overlap. Like, we need to create overlaps and give the wingers more options, because our wingers, listen, they're not in the greatest form right now. And while some of us rated them quite highly to a degree, but they're not. We know that they're not prime, like Robin and like these kind of man here. They're not top level wingers like that. Prime Hazard or these. They're not that. So they need a lot more support. And even against whichever team we played in the cup, some League 2 team that we played. Before Tosin, I think, scored a banger, we could even see the same issues were there. Like, we're just not creating overlaps, and it's just stale football. And again, the main aim of this team is get the ball to the right winger, whether it's Maresca or Neto. They cut on their left foot and they just sling crosses in. And listen, they've led to some goals. They led to the first goal against Brentford. The goal again, obviously, they scored against West Ham. So it's worked at times, but for me, it's not sustainable. Like, we're doing this as if we've got Marcos Alonso crushing the back post, as if we've got flipping Drogba crushing the back post, but it's Sancho and Cucurella. Like, it's not levels like that to be slinging in crosses in almost aimlessly. And listen, it works every now and then, but over a 90-minute game, I'm sorry, the lack of creativity I'm seeing isn't good enough. And for me, people are saying, oh, the second half was so much better. For me, first off, we created more chances. Again, there was the cutback to Enzo, which he put past the post. Probably the one thing that Jackson did good in the game where he created a chance for Noni. When Noni's running in, he's just inside the box. He goes for the curler. For me, any left footer in the Premier League or right winger, that's bread and butter. That's got to go in the back of the net. Again, we see with Noni, all the training clips of him practicing that same signature move, and it was a decent attempt, but for me, decent is not good enough at that point. It's got to be on the target, and realistically, you've got to put it in the back of the net, and he didn't do that. There was that Palmer had the quality free kick at the end of the half, but other than that, like, we weren't testing the keeper that much. And then second half for me, I thought it was worse. People are saying, "Oh, we got better because we scored," and I'm like, "Yeah, we scored," but for me, you could see the lack of confidence, the lack of ideas. It was not good, boys. It was not good. And listen, a guy that I've slated a lot, Pedro Neto, I'll give him credit for the cross because it was the best cross of the day, even though, again, we had to ride our luck in terms of it just brushing past Guiu and they didn't give the offside and all that stuff, right? Cool. We got lucky with that, and then it comes back to him perfectly. He finishes it. Credit for that. But for me, still, it wasn't like the performance upgraded massively. I think what I will give Maresca credit for was the change in tactics, because, again, everyone's saying, oh, he made quick changes, which we all agree, that's great. But I'm not going to give him too much credit for making quick changes when we've been saying this for months. Make quicker changes. You were doing that earlier this season. Remember Wolves away, where we had a bit of a shaky end to that half, but we played pretty decent. He hooked Modric off at halftime instantly. I think we were drawing that game. And he hooked him off instantly, and then we changed the game completely second half, destroyed them. But we haven't been doing that for time. So cool, we done it today or yesterday, and okay, we had good results from that. I'll give you a bit of credit, but you should have been doing that from time. What I will give him a bit of extra credit for, though, is actually moving Cucurella from an inside 10 to the left wing. Because Cucurella in that 10, having to play for him in the pockets was not working at all for me. There were so many issues with him in the pockets. At times,
so
Ember was too high up.
Congested there, innit? It was so like there was too many bodies in there, and we were playing into West Ham's hands because, again, like you said earlier, if you're crossing it into him, cool, yeah, he scored 2 goals from scoring like that, but bro, he's not the tallest, and West Ham have got a lot of tall players, right? So for me in this game, this is where you need a profile like a Mudryk, right, to stretch the pitch a little bit, and that's exactly what happened when Nkunku came on. Like what you're saying, that dynamic changed on that side because Nkunku was more like in the left half space, and then you had Cucurella that was stretching the pitch.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I feel like that's something Sancho could have even done anyways, even though Sancho's not a normal 10, but where he likes to operate is in those areas. So Maresca could have done that earlier, but granted, he took him off, brought in Nkunku when it changed, and it helped us a bit. There was a bit of a better balance. And then Palmer stepped up a bit. Obviously, he created the second goal. And yeah, that was kind of it. In terms of performance, which we're going to analyze, because for me, why it's an issue going forward is this sustainable? Are we going to be able to get results going forward? Because nothing's going to change in terms of personnel. The players that we got now are the players that we got. That's not changing. So I'm pretty worried in that aspect that going forward, we're going to see a lot of the same results, and the Neto cross going in isn't going to lead to a goal next time. So what's going to happen then? So again, result is great, but in terms of performance, I'm very, very concerned.
I mean, Andrew, how about you, bro? Do you agree that there wasn't really much of a change after the changes, or are you more on the side of those changes were actually helped us win the game, bro?
Well, those changes definitely had an impact. I will say that I think the first half, to my mind, I think we had like 5 chances. Well, 4 including the Palmer free kick. And Nkunku setting up Madueke for the shot that went wide. And Jackson set up Madueke, shot that went wide. He then laid it off. Good hold up play to Palmer, who instead of placing it, placed it over the bar. We then got Madueke putting Enzo Fernandez through, and he shanked it wide. And then we got Sancho. He was in the penalty area, and he just hoofed it up over the bar. So there was clear chances there. We just had the bozo in the back, who that was coming, by the way, that mistake, because he'd been passing like that for most of the game. The changes obviously made, and every single one of the changes made a very positive impact. I was surprised he took Sancho off first instead of Madueke, but in the hindsight, it really didn't matter who came off first, really. Do you know what I mean? Put Neto. I thought for a moment he was going to put, when he brought Neto on, or Nkunku on, I thought he was going to actually put Neto left and Nkunku in the centre and Palmer on the right. It was about a couple of minutes where Palmer was on the right. But also what was important, and Nad's spoken about overlapping or even support, took Reece James off and he put Gusto on. And Gusto was more of a support player for Neto on the right-hand side, who's closer to him. And I think that made a big impact. And this isn't on Jackson, by the way, but Mark Guiu's a different number 9. It wasn't like an outstanding performance. It was just little things here and there in terms of more of a presence in the box, someone to, even though he's not going to win it, but someone to distract the defenders now. They've got someone who's going to be there with them. They don't have to drop off 10 yards off of Jackson because he's going to go and collect the ball. He's going to go wide. It was, and that allowed space for others. Like Palmer had more space. He had space anyway, but he took advantage of more of that space in the second half. You know what I mean? Cucurella was getting even more in the box, even wider in the box, was able to cut it back and something like that. So, kudos to Maresca. I won't credit him for dropping Sanchez because I've been calling for that for most of the season. So he won't get credit for me on that because it should have been done already. But yeah, it's a fantastic fight, but it's a much needed win. I call it more of a gritty win. More like it was like, I thought the performances weren't as bad as people were saying. It wasn't the best, no, but I just think we sometimes I don't like to do it, but I know Jimmy like sometimes watches the games afterwards when we do it, and sometimes do it again. But I just wanted to watch stuff again. Jackson, it wasn't his best game, but Jackson did have set up 2 very decent chances in the first half for Palmer and Madueke. And even Palmer hit that one wide in the second half as well. Our shooting, if you look at the stats, it looked really bad for. I think we only had 3 shots on target, in all of the game. But there were some decent ones that went wide. I think Enzo Fernandez certainly should have scored in the first half. Where he shanked that.
He tried to
went wide. Yeah. But
yeah.
I want to say on Enzo Fernandez, a brilliant performance. A brilliant performance by Enzo Fernandez. He was ridiculed last summer, when he went down injured again and said, whatever it was. And I think he's justified with his performances this season overall in terms of how he covers distance and everything like that. And I would say, good on Maresca for making the changes as quickly as possible. And I'm hopeful that it was a very sick irony that both our strikers went off injured. Yes, and I hope that when we haven't bought a striker, it was the sickest of.
Maresca said all right.
I know, but actually during the game time, I was like, damn, we haven't bought a striker, and now both are potential number 9 are ill. But good on Neto as well. But good win. Hopefully we can toss Brighton aside in the league and cup double back to back, and then. We move on from there. But it was very important when we needed to win this, Dom, because everyone around us literally lost.
Exactly. That's what it is. And once again, you make a good point there, Andrew. Spot on, right? Because I've been saying all weekend, and I've been showing you lot in a group chat. So, listen, these men have lost. Look at these man's fixtures. I don't like doing this shit because we should be doing our own job. But because we fucked up over this Christmas period, I have to look at other teams now. Right now, if we did our job, we'll be far from Man Cities and these men. We won't have to worry about them. But we didn't, unfortunately, right? So when West Ham scored, I can't lie, Jim. I was sitting there thinking, once again, these men have been gifted something, right? And they don't want to fucking take it. It's like they don't like freebies. They don't like freebies, bro. Because there's been so many times where teams fuck up and we can, take the opportunity to better ourselves and we don't do it, right? But I've actually brought up Neto because Neto for me was actually my man of the match. I think I've seen a few people saying Enzo. I've seen a few people saying Caicedo. I thought Enzo and Caicedo were brilliant in that midfield, especially Caicedo. The way he was breaking up play. He was basically playing box to box. He was everywhere, bro. Right? Everywhere. You see him in the lone 6. You're seeing him playing. I'm seeing man left wing. I'm seeing man playing in the 10. He was amazing yesterday, right? But for me, I gave my man of the match to Neto because yesterday was one of the first times I've seen him have a different way of playing and have more variation in his game, right? So Neto registered more touches in the box, 7, as many as Jackson, Sancho, and Madueke combined, and Neto only played 38 minutes, right? And what's the thing that I always say to you lot about Neto? I don't see this guy attacking the box enough, yeah? And yesterday was, again, the first time where I saw this guy doing it consistently. And for me, playing a striker, a natural target up there, target man, helped him do that because he had someone to actually aim for, yeah? There's a few times where he cut back to Guiu towards the end of the game. When Guiu slipped, that was Neto that cut it back to him. Shortly before that as well, he tried to cut it back to him. He got blocked, right? He put in a nice cross as well for the goal. That was towards Guiu as well, right? So I thought he had a very good game yesterday, Jim, when he came on, man. I thought he gave us something that we're missing from the wing, where he was just trying to take man on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Neto looked good. Neto looked good yesterday. I thought the intensity was low first half, but I still felt like we were in a clear better side. Chances were created. I think people were kind of going a little bit extra on the wingers, you know what I mean? They were okay. Chances were created. It's just that shots were not put on target, you know. Good chances were created. We should have had at least, if not goals, we should have had at least 4 shots on target. And you had the Enzo shot, you had the Sancho, you had Madueke, and then Palmer had one. All 4 of those should have been at least on target. You know what I mean? Nani put in a couple good crosses. That pass he made to Enzo was actually a great pass. That should have been a goal. Like, so I think sometimes like
Mhm.
it reached to the point where now it's like I don't even like it's just like a narrative now. It's just like if the players don't have a 10 of a 10 game, it's just that now they shit. But
Yeah.
Madueke was not that bad. It was just all right. He had an okay game, but like if you know how an assist go, if the fucking ball's not put in the back of the net, you don't get credit for anything, and people ignore it. And for the player they like, they'll say, "Oh, look, chances created," but the players they don't like, they don't mention it. But that's the same thing with Madueke. He was creating chances as a winger. He was creating chances, but he don't. I don't know. It gets boring. It gets a little boring as the season go along. The more and more the season go along, I tune out what other people think because it starts to get like just these little narratives are created. But to me, man of the match to me was still Caicedo. Like he was like the best player on the pitch. Like and it gets to the point where he does it every week that like we look for somebody else to say that they were better. That's how it be with Caicedo.
Becoming
Like,
normal,
I even find myself doing that. Like I look to see who else was good besides Caicedo because you can't just keep giving him man of the match every match. But
I mean, he dropped off a little bit because he's been getting tired, bro. But yesterday even, that was a very good performance from him, 100%.
Yeah, well, they had a lot of time off, you know what I mean? So he had a lot of time to rest up, get back, you know what I mean? But he looked good yesterday. He was doing his thing yesterday. Only thing, like I like the subs too. Like Maresca was in his bag yesterday. Maresca was in his bag. He made his subs early. Like he didn't make them too early. Like I don't like unless a player is just like totally fucking stinking it up. I don't really like changing them at halftime. Like I like to give them at least another 5-10 minutes after half. You know what I'm saying? And I think he gave them what, like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and boom, made the changes and did what he had to do.
He made the first changes on the 51st minute. He made
it was quick, bro.
Quick.
Yeah. That's what he was doing.
Then 61. And 61 as well, yeah.
Then,
so he made 4 changes within the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Yeah. That's
like,
exactly what I want to be seeing. That's what I want to be seeing.
I see a lot of people saying like Jackson had a shit game, and it's like he didn't have the best game, but if you watch the game again, you'll see that he created some chances. He did a couple things. He's just not scoring. And
outside of the boot pass to Noni was sensational.
Yeah, that pass to Noni
was. Yeah,
he needs to be saved from himself. He needs to be. He keeps playing. He keeps starting. He can't. Like I don't want to see him start the next game or two. Don't start him. Bring him off the bench.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but give him something to have hunger for, man. Because he has to. He's drowning. He's drowning right now.
Players have to be saved. Like even the best players, they got to be saved from themselves. You got to bench them, let them come off the bench, or let them sit a whole 90 and not get in and get that hunger back. Like that. Like Jackson has to be saved from himself right now. You know what I'm saying?
100%, Jim. And one of the reasons why he has to be safe from himself, Ags, yeah. If you have a look here, right, this is the cross that Neto put in for the goal that we ended up scoring, yeah. So if you have a look and you look at Gil in this phase over here, you can see Neto's got his head down. He's looked up. He's got his head down. Look at him here. This is a guy that's ready to attack the ball, right? That's the sort of movement I need in the box. Because I watched the game back and I'm watching Jackson in the box when these headers are coming in, yeah. Sorry, the crosses are coming in. And it's like he's not really attracted to the ball. You know, he doesn't like to attack the ball in the air like that, right? You barely ever see Jackson do it. And I was seeing Gil a couple times where trying to whip it in, and you're seeing him like this, bro. He's on it. Do you get it? And we ended up scoring from this, right? So this is what I want to be seeing going forward now. I want to be seeing Gil getting more minutes because he can offer us that threat in the box. He can ruffle guys up as well. He's tall, bro. He's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". West Ham players are fucking tall, and he's 18, but he doesn't look like an 18-year-old, like I told you, man, before. Do you get it? What did you think of his little cameo yesterday when he came on, man? And do you think that he will help Neto play better going forward as well?
Yeah, I think he will, just because of his profile. His profile is to try and be a bit more aggressive, put himself about, and get on the end of things, which is different to Jackson. And I've got to remind myself to talk just purely on Guiu and not the fact that we're relying on an 18-year-old. I think that conversation will come later. But no, like you even said, his hold-up play was good. He was winning certain like second balls. I think there were times where he was even running into the channel, just that intensity that we're not seeing from Jackson. But that's not me saying Jackson's lazy or he's he's playing, or he is playing bad, but mostly it's because you can see he's not clearly fit, and he's obviously got a confidence crisis right now. And again, like Jimmy's saying, you've got to protect a guy like that. Just say, oh, he's injured, so he's on the bench for a bit, so he's going to just have to play a few minutes when he's not actually injured, but you can tell something's off of him. So just let him rest, protect him, and let Guiu have a chance because he's the best that we've got. Yes, Nkunku's still in the squad, cool, but we can't play him up front. We know how that goes. And with Guiu, at least he's giving us a bit more of a physical presence, and that can sometimes give you that luck you need. Because again, that goal for me, not that it's lucky. Again, I'll give Neto his credit, but we had to ride our luck a little bit because again, on another day, Guiu gets a bit of a touch onto that header and then it's offside. Cucurella's cut back to Enzo, that gets ruled out. So, but for Guiu, let's see if the manager trusts him because ultimately it's down to the manager to make the big calls. He made the big call with the goalkeeper. With the striker, we're gonna have to wait and see because he's a bit younger, he's got less experience in the league, but he's shown that he can offer something to this team.
100%. And even here, this I love this bit here because I don't really see Jackson rough man up like that. Like Jackson, when you look at him, right, he's a lanky type of player and he's good on the ball because he's agile, right? He hasn't got that build like a Delap or like a Guiu where he's gonna rough man up. And here, Guiu got in the wide areas. The ball came wide and he roughed man up, and we ended up creating a chance from this opportunity here, bro. Do you get it? So these are the little things that he can do because he's gonna run the channels, bro. Yeah, he's gonna run the channels and he's gonna create chaos over there. This is the Colwill example. That's for after. But this is another thing that I liked about his performance. Yeah, that he was actually
facing man down. If he didn't slip and fall in the box, I think he was gonna score.
He was.
Yeah, it was a good cutback from Neto. Actually, that should have been a goal.
Yeah, I think he was gonna because the keeper kind of shit the bed. If you watch, I think the keeper went to the ground too quick, and like he would have had a lot of space to put that in the back of the net. But let
me even get that example up.
Hold up, no, Jimmy. I'm seeing our strikers slip constantly. They got to stop with the slipping thing, bro.
Falling all over themselves.
I know, bro.
I think it's the nerves, like they trying too bad. You know when you want to do something so bad, like I want to score.
No, that's
relax.
Like, think about it before it goes in.
You guys don't understand. That's Clear Lake's fault for overwatering the pitch. They want the players to slip and be unsuccessful.
It's their fault for signing such a naive team. But again, we'll get onto that because the lack of experience in the team, the lack of composure, that's systemic. It's clear. It's clear to see. It's not a coincidence. Look at their ages.
And again, this is another example here, right? That I've got with what's his name, with Neto and Gil, the little link up here, right? So this was one of the cutbacks that he got. So you can see Neto here. He done a little step over just before this. He ran, and then look, you will see Gil. Look at Gil over here, right? You can see him. He's looking at the ball, ready to make a move. Before you know it, he's near post, yeah, and he's there, ready to pounce.
That's where
I'm saying, and he ended up injuring himself. So these are the little things that I'm talking about, bro. Like when you're a natural striker, you're gonna be attracted to the ball. Wherever you're seeing the wingers and that, you're just going to want to make sure that you're in the right position to do something. And yeah, cool, he must have, he fucked up that opportunity. But the fact that he found space in the box is a good thing. How many times have we spoken about, when we cut it back, there's no one there? How often do we really see Jackson in the box, and scoring cutbacks? We don't really see it because his movement in the box.
He doesn't have the instinct. He doesn't have that natural striker instinct inside the box. He doesn't have
100%, bro. So I'm just hoping.
It's just not what he is. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for us to even expect it, it's like we bugging. It's not what he is. Like that's why once again these fucking, these sporting directors, it's their job. Go get a different profile. I personally think
we got someone coming in the summer. So
I personally think Maresca was not playing Guiu because he didn't want to. But now we realize nobody's coming in. Now you're forced to. Sometimes you discover a gym because you're forced to. You know what I mean? Sometimes you discover a young player is actually ready because you're forced to play him, not because you wanted to.
I mean, he wasn't even meant to stay. He was meant to go on loan until the Samu deal obviously fell through. So wasn't he meant to be with the first team?
Bro, let's not forget, bro. He impressed us in preseason, man. We're talking about.
I don't have a problem with him being on the squad. I just think that we should have a better starter or somebody at least equal with Jackson to like some. They could have got a loanee. If they would have got a loanee, I wouldn't have had a problem. A dry loanee, like a veteran striker or any striker. When it got to the end of the week window, I would have took Evan Ferguson. Any one of those young players where it wouldn't have cost you nothing. Just another profile, something else. But I think now Maresca's pushed to the point where, as you can see, and you slowly started seeing it happen. He's gonna start playing Guiu because he's forced to. He has no choice. Like he's gonna have to play him. I think Mark Guiu. I know that's not how you say his name, but that's how I say it. So everybody else thinking, why is he saying?
I actually got corrected. It's actually Guiu.
Because I think that shit sounds better. Guiu sounds way better. So I think Guiu is gonna start against what you call it this weekend. I really do. I really
we've got Brighton in it. We've got Brighton next.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, Jim. Yeah, trust me on this one, bro. Yeah, give the guy the minutes, and you will see exactly what I was watching when I was showing you man clips, bro. You'll see exactly what I was watching.
I think if he play good this weekend, you bring him back again next weekend against Brighton again, and then after that, you see what Jackson is. If he ain't scoring goals and he's just playing okay, well, like you know what I mean. Like, but you gotta play the kid. This guy,
this is what I'm saying, Jim. Like, I don't give a fuck about the age right now because yes, cool.
Yeah, I don't.
Ideally, you want a seasoned striker. Like, we know we should be getting better than Guiu. No one's saying that, but let's deal with what we have right now, right? And what we're looking at right now is a guy that came from Barcelona, a guy that was playing in the academy with Yamal as well. Because when I'm watching man playing 15, 16 years old, I'm seeing Yamal playing with him. Yamal's now playing first team. This guy scored in his fucking debut for Barcelona, and I'm telling you, bro, when they sold Guiu, yeah.
They were
the
pissed.
Barcelona fan base, they were
fan
pissed.
Base was pissed. Yes,
they were angry, bro.
Base, I couldn't believe they were acting like that. I was like, damn, this kid must be good. They
6
were
million.
Pissed. Their
6
fan
million,
base
you know?
was pissed.
You know what I'm saying? They were angry.
I think on channel, we went on there Reddit, and you could see it. They were fucking pissed. Them fans were snapping.
Yeah. This guy was on the verge of making it into the first team, and bro, they were looking at him to take over from Lewandowski like long term, because they even offered him a new contract, and he said, "Nah, let me go in it. I'm gonna go." Yeah. So we just need to give him the opportunities. But listen, we got 175 people in the house, 55 likes. People, listen, make sure you lot are smashing up the likes, man. Like I keep telling you, bro. You come in, you take off your trainers when you come into people's yard. Same thing here, bro. You come into the stream, you like straight away. You know what I'm saying, AJ? We say, man, what did you think of Guiu's performance yesterday and Neto as well, man?
Yes, sir. Big up the panel, big up the chat. I mean, look, man, Guiu, he gave us something different, and with that, it helped Neto. You know, it's like a domino effect. You know, Neto's able to, you know, his strengths look better when you have a striker more similar to Guiu. So, because I don't think Neto did anything too much different, you know, apart from I heard you mention him arriving in the box, you know, to finish that chance, that loose ball, which is something that we haven't been doing, you know. So, but I do think he was putting in the same crosses, he was taking up the same spaces. So you see the difference is really just having, you know, more of a target, because, you know, crossing it to Sancho, crossing it to Jackson, Madueke, you know, only really Cucurella is really giving us a higher percentage opportunity of scoring those crosses. So Guiu gives us that chance, you know, that extra variation. And, you know, we have our chats, you know, every couple of days I'm saying, you know, we need a target striker. I'm still looking for my Olivier Giroud replacement, you know, where somebody who could come in, start a couple games, or come in, you know, second half and change the game for us, just like what Guiu kind of did, you know. And he's still a young player, so it's something to work with. I still think we should have brought in a striker in the transfer window. You know, I think that would have helped us. You know, clearly that would have helped us, because look, you take off Jackson, you got a different look up there. It's a different person. It's a new energy, you know. So look at what it does. So, but I mean, Guiu did his thing with what his opportunity. So, you know, I agree with Jimmy. He should start this weekend. You know, Jackson needs to hold bench, you know, watch the game a little bit. Maybe he needs to reflect on what's going on, and we see what happens. Maybe Jackson gets to start, you know, in the Premier League game coming, and then maybe he's a little fresher. So I like Guiu. I like Guiu. I like what he's giving us, you know.
100%, bro. And we're playing Brighton, yeah. And Brighton right now, they are angry with their manager, because they're just not playing well right now. They got battered the other day. Brighton play exactly how we like teams to play, bro. All that space, that high line. Bro, all you've got to do is just play Guiu over the top of that high line, all right? And you're going to create chances for him. And him pressing as well, man trying to play from the back, he's going to make people make mistakes. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So I think he'll be perfect for this game to start. I'll be real, ads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Again, it gets the best out of our players around him. And listen, there's times where Jackson starting a game is going to help us. And we saw even in the West Ham game, even though I thought for me he wasn't great, he still led to that Noni chance. And when the game's open like that, it does suit someone like a Jackson at times. But when teams are trying to camp in, then obviously you want somebody who's got that bit more of a physical presence in the box, which brings you. But again, like we've been saying, we need somebody with physicality, someone who also wants to run and actually press man, which Nkunku was not doing. So trust the kid, man. We've got to do it at this point. We can't complain too much. Well, we will complain. We will get onto these sporting directors because what I've seen has been a disgrace. But past this week, it is what it is. We've got to just contend with the squad that we have, and it is still good enough to get top 4. So we've got to do it.
100%. A big up Jardel, it says, but Don, you know he's gonna drop that line when they face up, bro. They're not, man.
Not Brighton.
Brighton aren't gonna do that. They're not gonna drop that line, and they're playing at home as well. 2 games in a row. They're gonna play exactly how we want teams to play, bro. So I'm showing you, bro. We're gonna create some good chances for him.
We need to win both, you know. I hate when like you play a team back to back and you always win one, then you lose the other. Like Banda, we need to win both these games, bro. We need to win both.
Remember that time we played Tottenham? We beat them like 4 times in a row. We need to get back to that.
Yeah.
You gotta see that, man.
100, bro. Did you get it? So yeah, now we definitely need to do that, man. But listen, let's talk about that goal that we conceded yesterday, man. Because I saw a stat yesterday, right? Chelsea right now have conceded 10 goals from direct mistakes, yeah. And honestly, I feel like I'm living through deja vu every single week because there's always someone at the back. There's always someone in midfield that's a moment away from doing some bozo shit, right? And right now it happens to be Colwill, who since the Liverpool game has put out some, inconsistent performances here and there. And obviously it doesn't help him that he's not got Fofana next to him because, to be honest with you, Tosin's actually been stepping up more than him recently, to be fair, right? But again, you've been seeing a lot of immaturity in his game. Yesterday he had a warning sign from Kudus. Kudus pressing him. He gets fouled, but he gave Tosin some hospital pass, bro. And I'm looking at him thinking, bro, this guy's looking mad shaky today. So I wasn't even surprised when I'm seeing man doing this. He gets roughed up over here. Yeah. You see him over here. Look, he's lost the ball. He's given the through ball to Bowen. Instead of him to try to run back or something, he's too busy shouting. Yeah. And everyone there could tell that was not a foul, bro. Yeah. And then Bowen, of course, finishes it. And anyone saying Jorgensen should have got that, you must be crazy. You probably haven't played football.
Crazy
before,
as hell. You saw that shot? That shot was
perfectly
beautiful.
placed.
Perfectly placed, bro. That was no backlift whatsoever. That was a clean finish, bro. That type of finishes that James Boy loves, bro. Gokaris. He finishes it like that as well.
And that shit jumped off his foot. The way how that shot jumps off your foot, it's hard. That angle is impossible. Yeah, that shit was a great shot.
It was perfect, bro. So what are you saying about him right now? Let me go to you, Jim, yeah, because obviously you're someone that was criticizing him quite a lot. And start of the season, he made you kind of eat your words because he was playing well. But like I said, as you would expect with a 21-year-old, bro, we need someone experienced next to him, or we need better than him, ultimately, bro. What did you think of his performance yesterday, man?
Experience next to him? No.
What's the situation
the fuck ups that he's doing has nothing to do about who's next to him. The only thing that would change is whoever's next to him would be just as mad as who's next to him now. It wouldn't change nothing. He's fucking up because he's a fuck up. He has low football IQ. That doesn't change by who plays next to you. It changes by you learning the game better, studying the game better. Like his mistakes be basic mistakes. That's a basic mistake. I'm under pressure. Oh my God. You just kick it the fuck out. Right on the right. You're literally right on the touchline. You just kick it out and keep going. You drop back into coverage. That's it. Kick it out. What are you doing? And to make it even worse, if you watch the game twice, he actually looked up. He looked up, saw that Bowen was making the fucking dash in, and allowed himself to get bullied. And then what pissed me off worse than this, after this, second half, there was a ball launched up front from Areola, whatever the fuck they keep her name.
Mm-hmm.
And Bowen put Colwill on his back and held him off and won the fucking aerial duel.
That aerial duel was pathetic. That was pathetic,
That's
by the way.
pathetic.
Yeah.
You lost to Bowen. Like, dude, your job is not to stay behind the fucking man. It's to win the jostle and win the ball. Win the fucking ball. He never tries to win the ball. And with all that being said, I'm not starting Chalobah next game. I'm not. Like, I thought about it. I'm not. I'm putting Colwill back out there. I'd rather put Colwill back out there, let him have the growing pains, than put Chalobah out there. I'm just not. Like, let Colwill. If Colwell's gonna be that guy, he has to have his growing pains.
I disagree with that one. I'm not
Nah,
putting.
I don't. Because
Colwill's made two mistakes in a row.
It don't matter because early in the season he looked great. He didn't just look good; he looked great early in the season. That's
why.
The league at the
But do you know why though? We could get into why he looked great because he got to play center back.
True. It don't matter. He looked great because he was playing. It's not about what position. Decision making has nothing to do about where you are on the pitch.
Why? Why you say that?
Decision. He didn't make this decision because he wasn't that center back. He made this decision because he has a bad fucking decision. It was a bad decision.
I agree. So
I wouldn't bench him. I'm dead serious. I would send him back out there with the same pairing with him and Tolson because center backs. You don't just go bench center backs because they have a bad game or two. You don't. They gotta go through the growing pains that it has to build. Fofana is not coming back no time soon. I do not want Chalobah to have to be one of my starting center backs. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Chalobah is not going to be my starting center back. I don't want to see that world.
I mean, this is someone that apparently was trying to swoop in for Andrew. Like it says here, it can be revealed that Chelsea targeted an early January swoop for Maroulo in what would have been a record sale, but Forest owner said no. And obviously, this is a left center back. You know, Forest right now, bro, defensively, they're clear of us. Milinkovic, Murillo, watching these lot in person when I was at that game as well, bro. These guys are good, right? And this guy's very good on the ball like Colwill, and he's tenacious as well, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they got their ass spanked for 5 the other day.
Let me see if I understand this right. Let me see if I understand. Let me see if I understand this right with this story.
5 put in there.
Yeah.
Go on, Andrew.
Let me see if I understand this story right. It's the day after the transfer window, and language is very key here. So this was early January. So everyone has kept this quiet, this story that we went after Murillo in early January in this day and age in this football business. Don't give me this rub. Not you. I'm talking. We could have predicted stories like this the day after the transfer window from Chelsea press. Do you know what I mean? Oh, they tried to do this. Like they're coming out now. Chelsea tried the last minute hijack for Tel. Absolute nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Absolute nonsense. This is. We would have known about this within like 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? No doubt they're interested in him, but don't give me these stories now. Do you know what I mean? After you bought back Chalobah, do you know what I mean? What's the point? Do you know what I mean? Don't give me all the try again in the summer.
Though? You don't think this is believable?
No. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's believable that people have kept it quiet for 3 weeks in this football business in this day and age with social media. That's what I don't think. It's not like a Doncic AD trade. You know what I mean? That somehow the whole world didn't know about.
Madness.
You know what I mean? This is what this is. But, going on the player himself, he has excelled. But the problem is, and we'll say it again, he's also a young centre-back. So he's going to have problems.
He's young.
He's in a good partnership at the moment. Very good partnership at the moment. But we saw again against Bournemouth. Ripped to shreds against Bournemouth.
That's what I'm saying. I watched them get their ass kicked the other day. I was sitting there looking like, God damn, they're getting tore apart.
Yeah, but that can happen to even top center back. So I don't really look too much into that. I feel like he's shown his quality. I was even a fan of him before he even went to Forest. Like, this is a good center back. Milinkovic, too, obviously he's a bit more experienced. But listen, that can happen to anybody. But for me, in terms of Colwill, again, this is why I was always hesitant to heap too much praise on him, even though I was a big fan of him at Brighton and obviously in the academy coming up, his loan spell in the Championship. I think he's a top draw talent as a centre-back. But he has a lot to learn, especially in terms of building himself to be a physically imposing centre back because he's good on the ball. He's got that really good line breaking pass. He needs to develop that a bit more, though, more to his game. But defensively, of course, he's a bit lightweight at times. You could see he was struggling with the physicality of Kudos, struggling big time. So that's why I've always been hesitant to keep too much praising him and say that, listen, take your time with Colwill. Let's not make him be the leader of this back line like he needs to be. That he's not Terry at the same age, where Terry was a clear leader and proper generation at that time. Colwill isn't that. And that's why I was mad that he was rushed back against City. For me, he shouldn't have been rushed back against City. That should have been just, you leave Tosin and Trev in there and let them do the thing against Haaland, who they were actually better equipped to deal with, not Colwill rushing back in there.
And we know Colwill struggled with Haaland.
How the first game Colwill was rushed? I don't think how rushed in what way? I just think he's played like, I don't know. I think him not playing the City wouldn't have made a difference. He's just
for me, I've just not been a fan of his form of recent, and I feel like that was a good chance to let him bed himself back in slowly, not just put him straight back in against Haaland. I saw that coming a mile.
City's been shit, so I don't mind him putting him in with City. Like City's been shit, so like to avoid City, like the way City's been playing, I can understand them going like, it's City, but is it? Yeah, play.
But can we say that? Because we don't win big games like that, so we can't afford to be saying that.
You don't win until you do.
Real talk.
If I remember the game before that, Tosin and Chalobah had a decent game.
Trev was man of the match. Tosin was decent. For me, it didn't need to change.
They weren't getting pressed at all though in that game, man.
I hear that.
They had a good game. They had a good game, but it was easier in it because they literally weren't getting pressed at all. But big up EPL Turk. He says I've never seen. Let me read his comment, yeah. So it says, I've never seen Colwill play top level. He's weak, he can't tackle, he gets bullied, bodied, he can't win any aerial duels, he can't score goals, his passing range overhyped, and Tosin is better in passing range.
Why do people do too much like this? Why?
Listen, what it is for me, like AJ, do you think that Colwill can improve this part of his game in terms of how he is defensively, bro? Because for me, one thing about him, right, is he's very what's the word, bro? I mean, the way he defends is too nice, bro. At times, like he's good in the box. He's good in the box with the blocks, like and intercepting danger. To be fair, in the box, bro. I can think of many examples this season where he's had some good goal saving blocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But when you talk about tussling, right, and trying to win like duels and that, he's just not that guy. I always feel like he's gonna get done. Do you know what I mean? Do you think with age he'll improve, or do you think that's just him? That's how he's gonna be going forward, bro?
You see, like, I'll just be honest. I was never really a big fan of Colwill because of this reason. You know, to me, he has good qualities, but it's not really lending itself to a top defender. It's more of like a good footballer. You understand? He could pass the ball. He could read the game. He has decent speed, but in terms of like defending, where sometimes you just got to be a brute. Sometimes you just got to be strong. You just got to overpower the other player. That's just what it comes down to sometimes. You just got to jump over them. You just got to bully them out the way. He doesn't have that side of the game. And that, to me, that's more important. You know, if you're going to be good on the ball, you'll have to mix that with being good defensively. And that's what like John Terry and those type of players, John Terry, excellent on the ball. But if you come into a physical confrontation with him, he's going to come out on top as well. So that's the signs of like a top center back. So I do think he has the qualities, but that aggression and like strength is normally like a natural type of thing. It's not really something that.
Put it like this: if we at the club at the bar, that's a light skinned friend I want because he'll fight. You see, he'll fight, but I don't want him on my sixer side. I'm good.
Yeah. And this is why before Badie Shield fell off a cliff, when people used to ask me who'd you play in the backline, I'd always say I'd rather Badie Shield because when I'm seeing man in the duels in comparison to Colwill, he can hack it more. Like in the wider areas as well, he seems to be better than Colwill. Like Colwill on the ball, in terms of his passing range, obviously we know how good he is on the ball, innit? You know what I mean? Yeah. But when it comes to actually just defending one-on-one, he's not that guy, innit? And I'll be real, I don't know if he's gonna become that guy defensively because, like you're saying, AJ, it's a natural thing, bro. It's either you have it or you don't. It's like certain man, bro. You know, Duran. You can't teach a man to smack the ball like Duran. It's either you have it or you don't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You got that shit or you don't.
Yeah. And a big up baller at 390 as well. It's a generational talent and Cobham boy. Colwill dropped a massive stinker yesterday. I don't think he had a. To be honest, like he did win the ball back quite a few times, but he just looked shaky. That was the biggest thing for me. He looked shaky in the game,
He had a
And someone
terrible
that's taken
first
us 3
half.
points.
An absolutely stinker of a first
Yeah, he
half.
had a terrible game.
Stinker.
He just was
I
terrible.
think it was one of the worst games this season, to be honest.
Yeah,
From
he
any
had
of
a
our
terrible
players.
game. It's
He
no,
was
there's
bad.
no going
He
around
was
it.
bad. He was bad, to be fair. But Tosin, bro, look at this fucking block. Yeah, he had a good
Austin
game.
had a great game.
Tosin
Yeah,
had a
Tosin
brilliant
had a
game, bro. Yeah, this is
Yeah, he
Uncle Tosin right now, and he needs to stay at Chelsea. Don't sell this guy to Brighton. Don't sell him to Fulham. This is what we need in a team right now. Someone that can come in as an older head. We can depend on them in certain games. Add a little bit more height into the team. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get rid of this guy. Andrew, I see you rubbing your head. What's going on there?
No, I just seen President Jafar propping Kurt Zuma, and my eyes just bleeding right now. Kurt Zuma after his injury was nothing like Kurt Zuma before his injury at Chelsea. All right, Kurt Zuma, his best kicking attributes were of the feline kind, and that was it. But you know what I mean?
Chill, my guy, man.
That was a problem when he first came to Chelsea. He was a very good.
Mourinho loved him.
He was great. He was great, and then he got that very bad knee injury.
That injury was unavoidable as well. I don't know why he jumped up like that, bro.
He was having
an amazing season.
We've been robbed of serious injuries, man. We've been robbed of serious injuries.
United as well, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know why he tried to jump like that. It was so unnecessary, bro. Right? But we didn't even talk about Neto's goal as well, because that's a goal that I wanted to talk about, right? Because I don't know if you guys saw in the first half when the ball was whipped in from the left and Enzo Fernandez blocked off the defender, and there was no one there because Madueke was so far from the goal, and you could see Enzo was complaining at him. Yo, I've just created this space for you. Where the fuck are you? Did you get it?
Yeah, you should be there cleaning this shit up.
Yeah, but then with Neto, you saw Neto, right? Let me even get the example up here. You saw Neto.
Neto was on his bike.
He crossed the ball in.
Neto was on his bike, man.
Exactly, bro. He crossed the ball in. Yeah, this is the chance here. Let me show you this one here, right? Yeah. So this was when Enzo was shouting at Noni. You can even see here. Look at him. Yeah. Enzo was not happy. Enzo's like, "What are you doing?" You get it? Like, Madueke was all the way back there. Yeah. And these wingers need to learn, bro. Go watch fucking Sterling and Sane. I love to use Sterling and Sane as examples because those two used to put up numbers as wingers. Numbers. Yep. And the reason why, again, they used to go attack the back post. They used to attack the box. When Sterling's got the ball on the other wing, you see Sane on the other side. He will attack the box, making sure that he's getting on the end of things, right? When Sane gets the ball on the other wing, you see Sterling on the back post because he's making sure that he's anticipating any drop balls. But Noni was nowhere to be seen. In a situation like this, the ball comes down, bro. That's a goal. You know what I'm saying? That's a goal.
That's my whole thing with. I wanted Maresca just to. I don't know why we keep asking Noni to cross the ball in when we have other players who can create and do that. I want Noni to be basically a second striker in this team. Do you know what I mean? It's just coming off the wing, off the wide, and just when he dribbles, I don't want him looking up because. Like to pass it to someone because he very rarely succeeds in passing it to someone. I just want him shooting. I don't care if the goalie saves it or it goes over a corner. I just want him shooting. Gets in the area and just shoots. Whether it goes wide or it goes in, no problem. But that's what I want. I want him to be that. I don't want him to be a creative winger because I don't think it suits him. He's direct. Just become like when Jackson, especially when he plays with Jackson. When Jackson drops or goes wider, I would just be screaming at Noni to get in his position and stay there. As an option, if Jackson's pulling out wider or dropping deeper or something like that, he can do that. Him just aimlessly crossing it into, especially in the first half, to no one, essentially, because Jackson will be in the box, but he won't make real effort to try and get the ball or something like. It's more like Cucurella, and he's always outmarked. So, you're right. There was a discernible difference in those two stills of. Noni Madueke just looking in the box, but not really doing anything, and then Neto following up with his goal after everything. And
these attackers, bro, every time Sancho gets on the ball on the other side, that should be a trigger for Madueke to wake up. You should never switch off, bro. You should never be switching off. That's why Madueke right now is just a squad player, and if he carries on like this, he'll end up getting sold, and then he'll end up being at these mid-table teams in the Prem, and then he end up dropping. He might get another big move, but he'll never become a top player if he's not doing these things because these are just basics, right? You don't just look at a man on the other side and just watch him and say, "Yeah, go on, you do everything." Right. No, bro, You want to add more goals, don't you? You're nearly in 10 goals now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And fucking 7 of your goals have come up. 4 of your goals have come up against Wolves. One of them was a hat trick. You get it? So you need to score more goals. And you saw Neto here. He followed his run, finished it. You know what I mean? And I was happy for him, man. You can see him doing all the chit chat and that. Listen, I don't know why he's doing all of that, because at the end of the day, he has not been performing.
I know why he's doing that. I know why he's doing it. I don't know if for the last game, the last game against Wolves when he was substituted, I think it might have been just Wolves fans, but I heard, I think I heard.
He got jeered. I was there. He got jeered. He did get jeered a little.
You know what I mean? And he probably,
not about home fans though.
They always tell us like
they interviewed him, and he said,
"No, but I think he's just doing that because some of the home fans did that."
Yeah, that was for the Chelsea.
Wait, Jimmy said that.
The Chelsea fans. He said, 1 minute you're the greatest, and the next minute you're the worst. He's telling y'all shut the fuck up, which I agree. Fuck that. Shut the fuck up. Sometimes
he needs to perform, brother. 65 million. What are we talking about?
We've got every right to criticize him.
Cool, but that ain't. I don't think that bothers him. I don't think what you say is what bothers him. Y'all, I think y'all downplay the amount of ignorant shit that they see. You feel what I'm saying? It's easy to say turn that shit off, but a lot of the time it's not. Maybe it's not even them reading it. Maybe it's a family member, a friend. Like I don't know, man. I think
I hear that. Listen, I hear it. Listen, I'm all for footballers using any source of motivation to get them jailed up.
Yeah,
right? I feel like Havertz went over the top when he shushed the home fans. Like, you shouldn't be shushing your own fans. That's a bit too much. But obviously, Neto, the celebration. Like, I'm here for it. Listen, he brought some intensity to the field. You could see that he played with a chip on his shoulder, and that's cool. Like, I'm all for it. But keep the form up, though. That's the only thing. He needs to keep it up now. And actually, like, because he wasn't dropped for like being like injured or anything like that. You were dropped because you haven't been in good form. And Noni, for all of his flaws, has been better. Sancho has clearly been better. So now you're going to be starting the next game more than likely. Keep up a certain level of performance that's acceptable for a guy who was bought for big money. Simple.
Exactly, bro. I can't lie, yeah. Like, listen, I've been getting annoyed because I feel like the past few games we've been seeing the same thing. You know, we've been missing chances. We've been seeing Jackson just drowning. I'm actually quite excited now, yeah, to see a different dynamic up there. I'm just hoping that Maresca will do what we're trying to do in terms of dropping Jackson and starting Guiu and starting Neto. So that should hopefully inject something different. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of hoping for going forward, man. But let's talk about, obviously, João Felix, bro, because, listen, this is a player that we've all said should have been getting more opportunities this season. Listen, there's so many... He splits the fan base, man. Even when we signed this guy, there was a lot of people saying, wow, we're signing him, we don't need him. You know, people know how much Gem does not like this guy because of his end product. For me, I think he's a talented player. I think he's someone that you just kind of add to a well-oiled machine, I would say. And he's definitely someone that can, you know, add something off the bench, you know what I mean, in terms of energy as a bare minimum, you know, and bring something different. Because when we fucking scored against Bournemouth, he won the free kick, you know what I mean? So I think he's been unfairly treated slightly. I can't lie. I don't think Maresca's, you know, used him enough. And obviously him going to AC Milan should hopefully mean now that Nkunku starts to play in his natural position, because we're not having to play Felix and then Nkunku's playing up top. You know what I'm trying to say? So squad building wise, it might actually help us going forward. I can't lie, because I don't want to see Nkunku up top again. But when I look at Felix, I'm like, we've just wasted this guy's time. You know what I'm saying, Ads? What do you think about this Felix getting loan, man?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Felix situation is just a man in a situation where he was getting abused domestically at Atletico, and he came to a new home and he got abused here too. Like, he just went to one bad owner in Atletico when he was the talk of the town. Generational talent, all that hype he was getting at Benfica, he was a top talent. And he went to, again, penitentiary ball with Diego Simeone, and it obviously didn't suit how he wants to play. He didn't develop the way he wanted to develop. For me, I feel like a lot of his flaws as a player just come from the fact that his decision-making hasn't improved since he was a teenager. The technical ability is still there. He's still got, you know, a nice touch, a decent shot on him. But in terms of actually being consistently good in the final third and making end product happen, he hasn't quite gone all that way. But again, I agree. He's got talent. He could have brought more to the team. There's times when Palmer's not playing well, and we've all been saying, give Felix more minutes, or maybe move Palmer out wide and play Felix in the 10. But we didn't do that, and it's resulted in us now in selling the guy or loaning him out. We're going to sell him, and we're going to look to try and make a profit, because that's what this signing was. This signing was all about, well, firstly, it was all about getting the Gallagher deal through. It was all about getting some PSR for Gallagher. Atletico weren't happy, And I don't know if we weren't offering enough for Sammy or whatever it was, but we figured out the only way we can get the Gallagher deal through was by getting Felix. I mean, we got Felix, but he does not fit the manager's plans. And that's the problem with a lot of this squad, is that we knew we were getting Maresca for time, and yet we bought all these players after Maresca came in, but they weren't suited to what Maresca wants to do. So it made absolutely no sense. It's good for him that he's gone. It's bad for us that we didn't really replace him. Okay, we've kind of replaced the backup for Palmer, which is going to be now in Kunku. But in the striker situation, we didn't address. We're now having to rely on an 18-year-old Guiu. And boy, we'll see if that works out. But it's horrible. It's horrible management from the club, from these directors. And I said it in the group chat earlier, and I'll say it again now. For me, these directors weren't ready to manage this season and do what it takes to actually manage with this club at this level, where you're trying to manage being this multi-club model with Strasbourg. And you're trying to manage also signing all these players just to flip a profit. That's what this club is all about. Right now, it's about flipping the players for profit. It's about managing the whole Strasbourg situation. But in terms of prioritizing the first team and actually improving players for buying players that are going to improve the first team squad, that's not been a priority for the whole transfer window. It wasn't. Clearly, it wasn't. And again, in January, we've missed an opportunity to go and sign a better goalkeeper or to sign a better striker, sign a better centre-back. That's going to actually elevate the team. Because we were saying that all last summer. And we're going to go into this summer saying the same thing, that we need a new spine. Why are we waiting a whole year not signing a new spine? It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
No, I agree. I agree with a lot of points that you've made there, man. How about you, Andrew, man? How are you feeling about Felix going, bro? Do you think it's going to help the team, like I said, with actually playing in Nkunku in his natural position now? Or do you think that it's a howler, bro, for the club?
I'm flabbergasted how this guy gets so much support throughout, not just our fan base, just in general. For me, he's just talented. Yeah, I don't think it weakens our squad at all. I don't even know where he starts for AC Milan, let alone us. I don't think he starts for AC Milan at the moment. Just bought Jimenez, the other players that are playing well. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. The deal was, we didn't really want him. Maresca doesn't want him. He doesn't want him. You know, he played João Felix less than Nkunku, and we're asking Nkunku to start more. Do you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't. I just think, for me, I didn't want him. Never wanted him. Never rated him. In terms of that, he's one of the three most ultimate comp players I've ever seen in my life. I don't. When he goes, like, I just to me, it's just going to be nothing. I probably won't even remember he played for us until someone brings it up in 5 years' time. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
You don't remember the hat trick against? Was it a hat trick he scored? No, 2 goals against Morecambe.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. You know what made me?
No, that second goal was nice. I was there.
The most iconic thing he done at this club was in that when we first signed him on loan, and he made that turn against Fulham away, and the away fans. The away, that was the loudest cheer I heard from the away fans all season, when he just did a turn and passed it into Havertz, who missed. Listen, I just think you know what? I think he doesn't need to. His next move, he doesn't need to go to a big name team. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He needs to find I'm not saying he's a mid-player, but a mid-level type of team, and be the main focus on there. Do you know what I mean?
I literally said this when we got rid of him the first time. I literally said, bro, it's time for him to go to a Villa or Wolves. Humble yourself a little bit and pattern up. And then, funny enough, Villa come in for him later on. You know what I mean? I was saying this a year before.
Like a Lazio or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like a Leipzig or something. You know, he needs to go to that type and build himself up if he can. He's 25 now, remember, guys. He's not like, people still treat him like he's like 21. Do you know what I mean? He's like 25 now. And his
career is a weird one, man. Honestly, his career.
It's a waste. I mean, you're absolutely right. I can't. These sporting directors, I can't believe. Like, obviously, at the time, I think we all probably maybe not. We probably wouldn't. Amougou, but in retrospect, we should have got him. I can't believe these sporting directors even went to Aston Villa and didn't even sign John Duran for 40 million, but signed Kellyman for 19. These guys, you know, I went to Leicester and signed KDH instead of the goalkeeper that flipping Maresca. But do you know what I mean? It's just a long list of. It's just an added name to a list of these guys who have signed. You know, and it just doesn't. That is a. You know, Don, do you watch Lewis's channel? He has that list of crimes that win.
Oh yeah. They've got the whole list.
You just had the names of the transfers. Just do him like that. That's what he can do. But no, I wish him well. We know we didn't put buy option for AC Milan because Italian clubs are cheap, so they wouldn't have paid for what we're looking at 60 mil for him anyway, or 50 what we're trying to sell him for. But let's see. I hope he does well. Hope he stays injury free, comes back, and we'll see, won't we, in the summer what happens with him. Moving forward.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro, 100%. And this is the player that we started to get a few rumors about. We got an exclusive from Fabrizio about him. I knew it wasn't going to be anyone like really that we know much about. And obviously this guy, Amougou, so he joins Chelsea as a talented 19-year-old midfielder from St. Etienne. It's cost us 15 million euros. Contract's valid for 8 years, as always. Amougou is going to be part of Chelsea's team, then set to go on loan to Strasbourg next season and back in 2026. And like I was telling people a few weeks ago, I saw the doom and gloomers on the timeline talking about Santos is going to get flipped. And I kept saying, bro, I'm 99% sure he's not going to get flipped. We are bringing this guy right now as a little bit of cover for Caicedo. And then obviously send him out the other way in the summer, bring Santos back, and then he'll be part of the squad. There's no way Santos is getting flipped, bro. Yeah. One thing about Clay Lake, when they fuck with someone, you're basically untouchable to them. And we've seen a few examples of that. Yes, a few people will get flipped, but Colwill was untouchable to them. Reece is untouchable to them. Caicedo, Enzo, these guys, Palmer, untouchable to them. Even Jackson's untouchable to them. Yeah. So Santos is another one. You know what I'm saying? But from what I was watching from this guy, because I watched a lot of his games back yesterday, very, very tenacious. He brings a lot of energy on the pitch as well. That's one thing about him, yeah? And the way he covers ground and the way he reads the game, he's going to be a good option to bring off the bench when it comes to seeing out games. Like even yesterday, I can imagine him coming off the bench for Enzo, for Palmer, and he's giving us that energy and helping us to break up play and put out fires. He's good at that. And then on the ball as well, he's actually quite tidy on the ball. He does this little twitch with his feet, yeah? I'm not, people, before you say, I'm saying he's as good as Musiala, he's not like Musiala. Musiala is better than this guy, obviously. They don't even play the same position. But honestly, bro, the way his feet move and his legs move and that, it reminds me of Musiala when I'm seeing man doing some crazy things with his feet. I'm like, yo, how the fuck has he done that? So on the ball, he's good. But his passing is a little bit meaty. I can't lie, man. There's times I'm seeing him just giving the ball away. Even his short passing isn't great at times as well. He's quite erratic with how he plays, but he'll be a good option to bring off the bench. I think he's definitely one to look out for in the future. But for now, I'm happy that we've at least got some cover for Caicedo. Because when I look at this guy, he's definitely a duel winner. He's going to get involved and want to win the ball and get involved in the game. It's quite gritty. Do you know what I'm saying? So this guy, I think he'll be decent to keep in the season until at least the summer. Man.
I hope he's mostly used in Conference League minutes until the final. Do you know what I mean? And then you can drop the big guns in the final. Do you know what I mean? You can do that essentially. Because other than Enzo and Caicedo and obviously Lavi's there, but he's injured. Don't know when he's back. The only other midfield option you have is KDH. You know what I mean? And that was he was the only one on the bench yesterday. So let's see. I don't know. I think we are spitballing if we think. I don't know if he's going to be involved or not. If Maresca
I don't know if he will be, but bro, I can't lie. Yesterday we saw Maresca bring on who did he bring on? He brought on an extra defender. He took Palmer off. Yeah,
Chalobah.
He brought Chalobah on. Bro, that was good management. So I'm looking at Amougou. Like I know people are saying he's not going to play, but bro, if we need to see out the game, I'll be happy to bring him on. Like there's no reason as to why Caicedo should be playing 90 minutes between now and the end of the season because he will just get injured.
I think a few parts of his fan base want them to try Raki Saka, whatever his name is.
Raksaki.
Yeah, Raksaki. There we go.
Yeah. No, you lot will see what I'm talking about. When you see this guy in the Conference League, yeah, he's good. I can't lie. He's a good player, man. I like him. When I was watching him, I said, oh, this guy's actually a nice, nippy player, man. So I think he'll do well in his career.
Even I think what probably means is that I think Ugo Chukwu is going to get flipped, probably.
Yeah,
that's what it probably means. Maybe even to one of the lower Premier League teams, probably then Santos or something like that. But going back to midfield, you'd probably still need to bring it because Lavi's fitness issues are a worry, right? So you probably would still need to bring in another type of midfielder just to cover as well. Do you know? Because if they get successful in getting Champions League games, that's more games. Do you know what I mean? We're already playing in the Club World Cup this summer, so the pre-season is going to be shorter, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So
100%, bro. 100, man. Let's finish up with the super chats as well, people. Still 208 people in the house. Make sure you lot are still smashing up the lights. Let me even stop sharing this. So, Brian says, someone give Colwill a Pogba Scooby snack, for fuck's sake. Bro, listen. he needs a fucking spinach, bro. He needs a spinach like Popeye, bro. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? AP says, bring me Kudos and Isak for the summer. That's not happening. Isak, I would love Isak, but both of them, no chance. That is not happening, bro. We read this earlier, but the generational talent. And then Assad, big up Assad as well, says Colwill's getting that Mount and Gallagher protection. He's a brother for me. Sell him this summer. I wouldn't sell him.
Doing too much.
He's not getting that. He's not getting that protection whatsoever. He's not being protected whatsoever by this fan base or big chunks of this fan base. So you mad? Mount and Gallagher got Secret Service protection from this fan base. Colwill's not getting that.
Colwill's nowhere near. Colwill's nowhere near, bro. The Gallagher one, bro. Oh my days! I don't think I've ever heard.
Gallagher first broke into the team with Tuchel, and he was getting red cards and that, and there wasn't any smoke on his name. You know, there was always excuses made for Gallagher. So many excuses.
I've never heard a Colwill song at the bridge. You know, I've heard Chalobah, Trevor Chalobah, like Conor Gallagher. I've heard that. I ain't heard Colwill once. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Big up Abs, man. It's my brother. It says invest Amougou stocks ASAP. He's a talent, bro. He's good, man. I can't lie. Yeah, I'm not overdoing it, but again, I can see.
Abs, I'm in a group chat with Abs. He's not, he doesn't really come out with stuff like this, and he's taken a look at him. He seems to like what he's seen so far in terms of that. But we're only going on 9 games.
Let me check his height. Let me check his height real quick,
bro. I'll show you some clips in it because I've got some clips I screen recorded yesterday on my iPad, so I'll send it in the group.
5'10". He's 5. Listen, man. Listen, I got a hashtag running. We're trying to make Chelsea 6'2" again, bro. We need some more height in this team, and honestly, like. Yeah, 5'10" in the midfield. We need more height in there, bro.
Spring is going to be different.
Everybody in our team is short. In the midfield, everybody's short. But only Leslie on our books has got some height. Only Leslie.
When you see the energy, I'm showing you, bro. When you see the energy, when this guy comes off the bench with, bro, you just see his hair flying everywhere, bro, like Cucurella. Do you get it?
I'll pray it still. Again, I don't like to judge because I've not actually watched, so we'll see. Again, when I first read it, it said that he was going to go straight back to Strasbourg, but I realized he's actually going to stay for a bit, so he's going to be part of the squad, which is good. So it's an option. We'll see how good he is because we can't trust Castello to play every single minute for the rest of the season, So
if he impresses, the plan right now is to send him to Strasbourg, but if he impresses, that might change.
That could change.
You know what I mean? It's it can change. We've got 4 months left because remember, we're going to the Club World Cup as well, so we've got 4 months of games left. Do you know what I mean? So it's like.
100%, man. But listen, let's finish up, man. Andrew, let them know where they can find you, bro, man. Love for hopping on. Enjoyed that chat, man.
Yeah, no problem. Like the video, subscribe to this channel as always. Everywhere else, follow me. I'll tweet out what I'm on and what I'm watching. I think I'll be mostly on Sarcasm City TV playback this week with the watch-alongs for the League Cup games approaching, and it's and then the FA Cup this weekend, back to back against Brighton. Remember, guys, Chelsea fans, the league game against Brighton is actually next Friday on Valentine's Day, not the weekend. So, you know what I mean? You better come up with an illness for your special one that you can't go out on Valentine's Day, innit? Watching the Chels.
Listen, that one is you have to put the game and whilst eating some dinner, bro.
You got to get the VPN up, bro. You got to get the VPN, bro.
But as love for hopping on, man. Let them know where they can find you, bro, man.
Yeah, love, bro. Again, my Twitter handle's there. And more time, I'm just on streams like this with you, obviously, Jem. Big up you guys. Obviously, big up you guys on the panel here. But yeah, I'm good. Shoulders getting slightly better, though. I have to go back into the sling. But yeah, man, it's good. Again, I'm happy when Chelsea are winning games in it. So long as they can keep doing that, you're going to keep seeing a smile here, man.
I hear it, man. And listen, people, make sure that you're following Jimmy Spliff TV as well. Make sure that you're following AJ on TikTok as well, people. But listen, we fucking move, man. Back into the top 4. Let's hope that we don't drop out of it again, man. You lot love. Bless.